Hey everybody, this is Ruby D, the goddess entrepreneur and the soul speaker. And I decided to start doing Soul Thursdays, which will be short videos that I'll give you all because every morning that I wake up, I have different thoughts about different things. And I honestly just need to start going live more often and sharing information and sharing thoughts that I have and stuff like that. So this is my effort in doing so. So I figure if I make myself do something every day, then I'll be able to go live every day. And I selected this filter because I felt like it was appropriate and it fits my personality. But today for Soul Thursday, I wanted to discuss healthy negative emotions and unhealthy negative emotions. So even though they are negative emotions, some are healthy and some are unhealthy. Healthy negative emotions are pretty much those negative emotions or responses that we have to situations that we experience, but we're able to keep on, moving through our daily lives without feeling or without being prevented from completing everyday tasks such as going to work or cooking for your kids or not being able to communicate with other people or anything like that. Unhealthy negative emotions are those particular emotions that keep us from being able to be productive in our everyday lives. And of course, those type of emotions are like depression, extreme stress, anxiety, and some other mental illnesses or chemical mental illnesses. Some are associated with chemicals in the brain and whatnot. But I felt that it was important that we know the difference between healthy and unhealthy negative emotions, so it'll be easier for us to identify and manage our emotions and our feelings. Now, healthy negative emotions are things such as, okay, if you happen to get up, late, then of course you're a little upset, but you're still able to get up, you're still able to get ready for work, and you're still able to go to work like you're supposed to. Hey everybody, thank you for watching. That's not gonna prevent you from being able to complete what you need to complete for the day. You're still gonna get up, you're still gonna go to work, you're still going to communicate with other people, you're still gonna handle business and do things. So that's a healthy reaction. A healthy negative reaction is also an emotion or feeling. I meant not reaction, but emotion. It's a healthy negative emotion is also one that is short term. It doesn't last long. It's very temporary, and we're able to get over it rather quickly so that we can continue to move on. Not only that, then we also understand that this particular emotion is not going to last long. So we don't allow it to, well, most of us don't allow it to ruin our whole day. Some people don't do that. And that's another topic for another day. But with an unhealthy negative emotion, of course, it gets to the point where you are unable to get up, you're unable to function, you don't want to participate in normal activities that you regularly would, you don't want to, you would just rather stay at home in bed and do absolutely nothing. You don't want to go out in public. And those types of unhealthy negative emotions are more long-term in nature. So it's not just a few minutes, it's not just a few hours, it's days, weeks, months, sometimes for some people it's years. But it's important that we know the difference between the two, because you have to be able to manage your emotions and manage your feelings effectively so that you know what's going on. Unfortunately, mental health, which includes mental illnesses, or even if you're mentally healthy, um, with those types of, or with that particular topic, of course, we really don't address it. We really don't talk about it. And I don't know why, considering that most of us are dealing with some type of mental unhealthiness. I'm not going to say illness. I'll say unhealthiness to some degree. And just because you are mentally unhealthy for the moment is not a bad thing. I mean, when you think about health in general, you get a cold. Just because you get a cold, you're physically unhealthy, but that's not a bad thing. So I don't know why people look at being mentally unhealthy as a bad thing, because it's not. Some of y'all out here right now, you get mad when somebody talks to your bestie. You get in your feelings and you start feeling some type of way. Guess what? That's mentally unhealthy. It's not necessarily a bad thing if you don't take it too far, but it is a thing. Some of us can be driving and we get road rage. For that moment, we are mentally unhealthy. It's not a bad thing. It happens. And that's okay. So I don't know why we have to look at the topic of mental health or mental wellness. I prefer to call it mental wellness because it covers everything. But I don't understand why it's not something that we talk about more often and something that we address more often, considering that it affects a majority of us. Whether you want to admit to it or not, it does. It affects us. It affects our children. It affected our grandparents. It affected our parents. And it will continue to affect us until we address it. I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to. If you don't talk about it, you don't deal with it, and it's just going to continue. I mean, think about it. If you were a child and you learn how to manage your emotions and your feelings and your reactions and everything like that as a child, you would not be in some of the situations that you're in now. You'd probably be more mentally healthy and in a better place mentally in life, emotionally. Everybody want to be petty. Everybody want to be savages. Everybody want to cut everybody off, and everybody just don't want to deal with their feelings, and everybody don't want to talk about their emotions. Stop that. Seriously. Because it's just going to be a continuous cycle, and mental illnesses are always going to be present. Just like regular health, people are going to have some terminal illnesses. It's just going to happen. But there are things to combat that, things to, help others before they can get that to that particular point. And that also brings up another idea. Okay, so of course I'm all about mental wellness and being in touch with your feelings and emotions and balancing your chakras and everything. So just like you go to a regular doctor and you get your annual checkup, your annual physical or whatnot, whatever you might get depending on your age, why not get the same thing for your emotions or for your mental wellness, or your mental state? I mean, it's not a bad thing. It would pretty much be just a checkup to make sure that mentally and emotionally you're in a good place. It's not to say you're going to be diagnosed to say that something is wrong with you. No. It's pretty much just to say, well, hey, I've had a few things going on and I just needed to talk to somebody about it. And I just want to make sure that I'm not going crazy. That's completely fine. Trust me, really it is. And for some of you that's never been to a therapist, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad experience. Some of y'all out here talking to y'all friends. I don't know why. Well, no, let me take that back. Some of y'all actually have some good friends that have good things to say. But then on the other hand, not so much. But everybody is not qualified to tell you or give you some type of measurement as far as your mental state or your emotional state or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, I kind of sort of got off topic, but so I said what I needed to say, and you heard what you needed to hear, and hopefully you got something out of it. But just to kind of recap, Soul Thursday is basically therapy for the soul. I'm not going to be talking about relationships, and I'm not going to be talking about money. I'm not going to be talking about this other stuff that some people engage in. I'm not a small talk type of person. That's not what I do. That doesn't interest me. Even though I can small talk with the best of them, that's not the purpose here. The purpose of Soul Thursday is to come to you and talk to you briefly about topics that come to mind, topics that I want to touch on, and only talk about it for a few minutes. It's, just to give you something to think about. Hopefully you learn something. Hopefully something resonates with you, and hopefully you take away something from these live videos. I will be doing them every Thursday around lunchtime. I'm not going to give no exact times because I need to eat too. Because I like to eat. And I ain't got nothing in my teeth, do I? I make sure I don't have stuff in my teeth and whatnot, because I did eat before this live video. So, like I said, it will be each Thursday around lunchtime. It will be Soul Thursdays, therapy for the soul with myself. And, occasionally, if I can get some guests, or if somebody wants to be a guest to kind of, tag team on the topic for a few minutes, that would be great. If you have any questions, of course, put questions below. It will be a little bit of open dialogue. These are not meant to be long, like on Sundays where we have Soul Sunday. So, be sure you check out Soul Sunday this Sunday with me and Allison, because we will be discussing that period of time after a breakup and you need to work on yourself, but you're not quite sure what you need to do or how to do it, or whether you just don't know what to do. Check us out. That's what we will be discussing. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this. This is Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur and the Soul Speaker. I will catch you all next time. Next Thursday will be the next Soul Therapy Thursday. And